Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Anastasia, Russian language teacher. I analyzed your comments that you write me, and many guys ask me like, Astya, why I've been learning Russian for maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, and I still cannot speak. Why I don't have any progress, even if I try. Why I still cannot speak Russian. And I believe that if you've been learning Russian for a year, even half of year, and you still cannot have a simple conversation with native, in Russian, if you still cannot speak on some basic everyday topics like your hobbies, the weather, your job, maybe your family, it means just that you do something wrong. It doesn't mean that it is impossible or that you're not very smart, I don't know. It means just that you do some mistakes and it doesn't give you to have results that you really wish for, and you need just to change a bit the way of your study. Let's start from the most popular reasons. When I start working with person, especially with person who already tried to learn language before, I see the same situation. First, very important, what you do. For example, many guys believe that they will use only apps and it will help them to speak Russian. Apps, I mean like Duolingo or any other apps. And these apps are good, especially to practice vocabulary. But if you know just separate word, it will not allow you to create your own sentences, your own thoughts, to describe what you really think, to describe your opinion. Also, if you only do grammar or only watch videos, you practice your passive skills of passive knowledge, and if you don't speak with natives, it doesn't allow you to speak Russian. If you only try to speak Russian without any basic grammar vocabulary, when you just move to Russia, for example, also you still don't have this grammar base, so everything should be in system. And most important, of course, to use this knowledge, this skill, and to practice and to speak. Lack of consistent practice. I may have studied Russian for years, but if I do it not consistently, not all the time, not regularly, it can be just difficult to see the progress, especially because you will just forget what you learned 2 weeks ago, then you start again. It will be very hard. Lack of motivation and desire. Even when you have a really big wish, big desire, sometimes you will feel lazy, you will feel frustrated. If your desire is not so good, it will be even harder, because every time when you will have hard times, you will just come back to your goal, you will remember why you do this, and it will help you. Especially it is complicated because when we just start learning, first classes usually are people are very happy because they see the results very fast, but then after half of year, maybe a year, people lose motivation, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, because your results will be already less, not so strong like in the beginning, and very often people start losing motivation. So your goal will help you. You study yourself without teacher, without any courses. You can say whatever you want, but for example, I learned Spanish only when I started 2 classes with teachers, with Russian teachers, with natives, and before it I tried hard, but every time I lost motivation after 2 months, and of course I didn't have any practice. So if I would come to Spain, for example, I couldn't communicate with Spanish people. And the same about any language. If you study a language yourself, it's possible, but it's really very hard. You need to be very motivated, and you need to understand how language works. You need to understand all the process. For example, me, like a person with linguistic education, for me it's still very hard to do it by myself. I mean, to learn a new language that I don't know. In this time when you will not understand something, some topics in Russian, it will happen anyway, because in your language you just don't have these things like in Russian, like cases, for example, verbs of motion in such a big system. It will be for you very hard. Even psychologically you can easily lose your motivation because you will just not understand what is it. For example, with my students, we learn just alphabet for some classes, then we start already working on basic topics, and in half of year they already can speak some Russian. In a year they already can speak on everyday topics, yeah, and they already can speak some Russian if they do everything what I say, of course, if they have regular classes and do homework. Difficulty understanding natives. Sure, it's hard because in reality we speak faster, we use slang words, so it's really hard sometimes to understand what natives say. If you're nervous to speak on the video, on phone calls, you can ask your Russian friends, just send you audio messages and you can listen it again and again, repeat it, and it will help you. Then your perfectionism and fear of doing mistakes. About perfectionism, I already told in previous videos, like how I always also tried, like you do everything ideally. Some people believe that they need to achieve goal very fast. If they understand that they need, for example, a year or 2 years, half of year, depend on the goal. They are very scared. They want to do everything faster and faster. They say, Nastya, let's do classes every day. And I understand that I say, no, please. You will just lose motivation very fast if you will try to do everything too fast. If you're waiting for too fast results, you will just stop it. And your fear of making mistakes, speaking with natives, never be afraid. You're already very strong person if you started learning another language and people understand it, so they will support you. And I'm sure they think, oh, he's so cool, he tries so hard. So guys, I hope you are doing very good. I hope you have a wonderful mood. I will see you soon. In comments you can also write me some question about Russian language, how to learn Russian. Will be really useful, and I will maybe do video on this topic. Also, if you want to learn Russian, I give all the links in description to this video to book Russian language class. So we'll wait for your comments. Have a good day. See you soon.